You spent 7.5 years at Google, as we talked about, leading data and science teams. And so at your time at Google, I would imagine, was pretty formative in terms of the way you kind of thought as an entrepreneur eventually, when you set out on your own with SetSail. See what I did there? um, but yeah, so I'm curious, like, so what did your time at Google, what did you learn there that still kind of impacts how you think about the way you work today? What were some of those learnings that you took with you?
Yeah, so I want to start with, Google is definitely the best place I worked, from beginning of my career. A very, very sound company with a great product, great people. And I learned a lot from working there. It's like, I would say, number one fundamental thing, which is Google is very known for. I learned how to use data
Mm-hmm.
and to make data effective. Uh, Being part of Google, you're just very lucky to, work with one big amount of data. Second, talent that you can't find anywhere else. Some of that talent, lucky for me, was willing to join me at SetSail. And then lastly, the internal tools that Google has are just phenomenal. I mean, it's like you have basically access to technology that no one has in the market 10 years before it goes to out to the market. And we just learned, tons out of that. And so, even though one way to think about SetSail, we've been in the market for 3 years, so we left Google 3 years ago. But the reality is that we've been doing what we've been doing for more than a decade. We just did it in a different place, with different set of data and so on. But that's kind of gave us a huge advantage. So that's like number one. Second thing that you probably hear from a lot of people that came out of Google, what you learn at Google, especially as an executive, you learn how to run very talented teams, which sounds simple, but how do you make sure that your people are empowered and motivated and really want to work on that big ideas, and Google is a company of big ideas. So um, as an executive, you just learn over the years to run and motivate teams, high performing teams, which is what Google is really known for. If you think about that, a lot of people think that Google is known for search. What's Google is doing really well is attracting top notch talent and making it effective. That's kind of the secret, and Google just learned how to do that in a very good way. And it's not about free food. Free food is it's one line item. If you ask most of people at Google, that's not the important thing. I mean, it's like, of course they love it, but there are so many other things that Google learned over the years how to make teams very, very effective.